We all want to make more money, spend more time with our families, be fit and trim, and achieve financial independence. Not only do we all want the same things, but we all know what we have to do to achieve them. And we all intend to do those things sometime. But before we get started, we decide that we need to take a little vacation to a wonderful fantasy place called Someday Isle.
I took a trip to Someday Isle, where everybody there says Someday Isle.
Someday.
Do this or do that.
Someday.
Excuse this, excuse that. The weather's really drab here, people like to nag here. Everybody seems to have a bad year. They always talk about excuses and how they would if they could but never do it. They love the validation of reaffirming failures, like what a challenge, ain't it? They say someday I'll get out of debt, someday I'll read that book, someday I'll take the first step, someday I'll do all the things I need, but until then I'll dream.
Someday.
Plus I need to think about it, I really wouldn't want to swim away and end up drowning. Their excuses are mostly the same, it's money, family, or no education. They've come down with excuse-itis, run for your life, it's best not to fight it. I took a trip to Someday Isle, where everybody there says Someday Isle.
Someday.
Do this or do that.
Someday.
Excuse this, excuse that. I took a trip to Someday Isle, where everybody there says Someday Isle.
Someday.
Do this or do that.
Someday.
Excuse this, excuse that. They mean well, I should have mentioned, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Losers make excuses, winners make progress. If they took action, they'd probably suffer a lot less. Complaining is useless, do the task or don't, but don't make excuses. On the island, nobody's laughing, all they do is justify not taking action.
Someday.
Is the excuse valid? Simple. Look around and ask, is there anyone with my excuse who was successful anyway and made it through? Find that half full cup to drink, cause if it's to be, it's up to me. The first rule of success, write it down, you must vote yourself off the island now.
If people put as much energy into achieving their goals as they spend making up excuses, they would actually surprise themselves. But first, you have to vote yourself off the island.